I'm late. I'm hurrying downtown for a meeting at the coffee shop, Cantabria's. It's delicious. I haven't eaten yet, so I'm hoping to have breakfast there. But in order to do that, I need to be there at least a few minutes before the meeting starts. But the meeting starts at 9 a.m. On Saturday. And I'm not a morning person. And I got up with plenty of time, but then I hit the bathtub. Oh, look at those pretty gardens. Isn't that pretty? Oh, anyway, I got into the bathtub and man, I zoned out. I get all dreamy. I lay back in the warm water and then I'm just gone. So I've been rushing ever since then, and I have to take the busy sidewalk. It runs along one of the main roads here in Bemidji, but it is a Saturday morning, so it's not too bad. And it only takes me a few minutes. I didn't drive because parking in town are like 2 and 3 hours long, and I'm pretty sure I'm going to be gone longer than that, and I didn't want to have to get out and move my car. And because I can walk there in about 10 minutes, I'm going to walk, even though I'm running a little late. Got to cross the road. I'm taking every shortcut I know. By the way, this is the morning. Little before 9 a.m. I have seen some boats out on the water. You see there's a little dot. That's people out fishing in the morning. All right, I'm here with time to spare so I can get something to drink and something to eat. This is a real cute place, by the way. And delicious treats, and I can get them gluten-free. So I think I'm going to go with a veggie wrap and a cranberry and wild cherry smoothie. Hi, I'm outside Tutu Bean, where I'll be gathering with other members of BAAC. Well, I didn't get back to continuing my video yesterday. What happened was we went into the restaurant, Tutu Bean, where we had an amazing meal. Oh my gosh, so good. Each plate is a work of art, and it costs about almost as much too, but it's worth it, it's worth it. And then we said goodbye, and I started to walk home, and it was like swampy warm all of a sudden. I lived in Florida for 13, 14 years, give or take. And I lived in Panama City in the cold in the last several years of that time. And it was just as humid yesterday as it would be there on a fall day. It was in the 70s, but it felt swampy. And I just wilted like a little old flower. And I stopped by the neighbors and I visited with them, and I thought, well, I'll freshen up when I get home and I'll have a conversation with you all at the dining room table. But then I made a phone call that lasted an hour and 1 minute and some seconds. Then I made another phone call that lasted about 20 minutes. Then I made another phone call that lasted an hour and 4 minutes. And then I was talked out. So I went upstairs, I laid on top of my bed with my iPad to do a little TikTok roaming and just chill. And I got a phone call from someone I very much wanted to talk to, and I talked to them a while. Yesterday was truly a social butterfly day for me. I enjoyed speaking to all those people, but I never did get back to doing any more recording. So here I am. I wanted to tell you about some of the things that have happened recently that relate to the arts and why I was meeting with those ladies yesterday. Hey, change of venue. I thought while I was talking to you, I would work on a project so that I can be talking and sharing with you and I can get something done with my hands. This is like a woolen blanket I picked up really cheap at a flea market that was outside of an antique store. And I'm cutting it into strips and I'm crocheting a squishy, soft, warm rug. What am I gonna do with it when I'm done? Well, I don't know, but I felt like making it. So, back to where I was, talking about this group with these women, the Bagley Area Arts Cooperative. There might be some men in it, but I haven't seen any yet. I bet there are. But at any rate, I quickly have learned that they are a very dynamic and robust group. And I knew that I could learn things with them. I love talking about art and I enjoy talking about art with them. And I knew I can learn. I can learn about the arts in the area through them, enjoy arts with them, and help promote and encourage the public and maybe people who aren't as interested in arts or don't know that they're interested in arts become more aware of what this group is doing and attend events. So I went to this meeting. They had a specialist come in via Zoom who was educating us on how to have a strong nonprofit organization and how to keep it dynamic and robust as it is, how to grow it, and how to manage the growing funds, the monies that come in, and the fact that the grant writer for BAAC is incredibly good at what she does. And so what to do, how to manage the funds tax-wise and legally, all that kind of stuff. Now, a lot of people would say, well, that's boring, but not to me it isn't. It would have been maybe a few years ago, but I'm at that stage of my life perhaps, or whatever. I've just become interested in it. So I had a blast. We got to learn something. Then there was a board meeting. During the board meeting, we talked about a communications committee. And so I'll help market the events and work with the newsletter, things like that. That's pretty fitting for me. And I'll probably do YouTube posts, cover events for them that way as well. Then we went to that wonderful Tutu Bean and had the most fabulous meal. Now, I didn't eat a meal because I'd eaten breakfast late and I wasn't very hungry. So I had dessert, and boy, was it good. Had a marvelous time. Now, the thing is that I have been knocking on a lot of doors, so to speak. I've been out greeting and meeting, finding out how the arts are run, who's who, that sort of thing. And I started getting to know the two ladies that run the office here in town for Region 2 Arts Council. They're very dynamic and interesting women, and they're also incredibly helpful. And in talking with them, I found myself volunteering to sit on the panel for the arts grants, where I would be one of the public eyes of a team of people that would look over the grants, read them, study them, see if they're viable and workable, help vote these people in and help them get some funding. I have never read a grant before this point. I have benefited from grants, but I never read them. So I sat down and read those grants, looked at the budgets. That wasn't much fun. Looked at the budgets, but the thing about it is, if you're in a grants panel, you need to look at the budgets. You need to make sure that they have a realistic outlook for what they're going to do with the money. And so I had to look at that. I read technically 8 grants. The 9th grant, I was written into that as one of the beneficiaries of some of that grant money for the organization. I would be paid to do some work for them if the grant went through. So I did not vote on that, and I actually didn't read it until they were in their meeting, and during conflict of interest, I was shut out. You know, I got to go have a little break, and that's when I read it. So I got a nice little interesting learning experience. Should I ever want to write grants? And I have also put my name in the pot to do that again, because I kind of liked it. I like knowing what's coming around this community. You wouldn't believe the kind of artists that are able to come out this far into the Northland to bring their talent to this community. There's musicians like out of this, like international level musicians that are written in some of those grants that will be paid, you know, to have come to the community and do free things. By the way, this is so that it's arts access. That means that you're giving these grants are awarded to people who then will give access to everybody, make it doable for even those that live below the poverty line to have access to these events. Wonderful, wonderful. And so that's what I've been up to. Besides making kind of weird, kind of ugly, crochet-y, ruggy things. Smells kind of like wool. Smells good though, because I did wash it really, really good. Yeah, I have no idea where I'm gonna put this. When I decide, I shall let you know. Until then though, may you be out doing your own creative things. Creativity can be in the cooking, in the decorating of your home, in the making of things that you do with your hands, or what you do with your voice. Maybe you sing, I don't know. But go and do some of that until I see you again. If you do like my videos, please, it would really help if you subscribed. The more subscribers I have, the closer I can get to being able to monetize this channel. And boy, what do they say? Do what you love, and if you can find a way to make money at doing what you love, do that too. Well, that's what I'm doing. Until then though, peeps, may you have a lovely creative life. Mwah! Ta-ta now. Love all life around you. Be inspired. Be grateful. Birth joy.